Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Boom! Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. It's off key. It is Thursday, December 7th, 2023 AD. Happy Pearl Harbor Day, everybody. Remember the dead, I guess. We wish all people well. We love everybody. We're Christians, right? It's 2023 AD, 82 years after the provocation that was allowed to happen, allegedly, to pull us into World War II, and for some reason we went to Germany too. What a mess. They killed the Japanese killed, allegedly, many thousands of human beings, and then we turned around and killed hundreds of thousands of theirs, I heard. Mostly civilians, too, by the way. So all this, protect civilians talk, it's a bunch of yippity, yappity, yappity, yap, yap, yap. In my taste. Because these same people support the killing of the babies, the unborn. But anyway, what are we going to talk about today? On today, I will be taking your calls, guys. Have some beautiful Christian music. I do call them demon rats. Those demon rats, those wolves in sheep's clothing who pretend to be for the kids. Maybe in their twisted mind, they are for the kids. Satan possesses the mind of us all. So terrible. I have this Libs of TikTok clip that I meant to show to you guys yesterday. This elementary school teacher who's like, is this the majority family? And it shows two, I guess, white parents and one child. Whites, we need to, I agree, that's not the majority family, that we need 10 children or something. Van Jones is on Vivek. I join Van Jones in disavowing the great replacement. I disavow white replacement, of course. Who wouldn't? Nikki Haley on TikTok and antisemitism. And some other mess going on in the world. So all that and your calls, guys, if you'd like to call in. But anyway, everybody, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how you guys doing? I am just fine. I do have my get a job sticker, or get a job sticker. Hold on. Bring it into the light, away out of the shadow of the Hake thing. And I also have J.C. Lee Peterson's all thoughts are all lies all the time. Isn't that a nice design? On this sort of mint or not quite sage, green t-shirt. I was just flexing. Because when you look better in the shirt, maybe it makes the shirt more attractive to purchase. I recommend going to rebuildingtheman.com/stores and get yours. It's Christmas time. How's this stream? So isn't that great? I think it's great. I have super chats to read and stories to get to, but I would like to get first to a caller or two. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. I welcome your calls. Even the haters. Joe from Phoenix, Arizona is on the line. What is up?
morning, James.
Good morning to you.
Wow. Well, Mark sure had a lot to say about me yesterday.
That caller, yeah, he addressed you. He went after you. I don't really like caller wars, but he's an old timer. It's hard to correct old timers.
Well, listen, I was glad to hear you say that you don't think I hate white people, because I've certainly never said anything anti-white on yours or Jesse's show.
Well, I don't know if I said you don't hate white people, because I have accused you of that, right? Haven't I accused you of that? But I said that you are part white. You have a white wife, even though that doesn't mean anything. Well, I don't know if you have a white wife. I'm not trying to dox anything, but you have whites in your family. You're part white yourself. But you're not for white genocide. You're not for killing off the whites.
Of course not.
But anyone who has anger, as JLP rightly says, and Jesus in the Bible, is a murderer. That's partly why I let him slide on that. He's a little hard line.
Well, listen, it'd be very easy for me to start firing back and insulting him as well, but I'm not going to, because he's not mad at me, really. What he's mad about is that the world is rejecting his hateful and stupid ideology.
They're replacing it with another hateful and even more stupid ideology, though.
Well, we disagree on that. So,
you don't think the world is every bit as hateful and stupid?
You know, Mark, you can be mad at me all you want to, and you can cling to your neo-Nazi and Klan mindset all you want to. The world is changing. It's left you behind. And the world you want to come back is never going to happen, because the world where white men are in charge of everything is gone and gone forever, and you are powerless, Mark. You're a weak, spineless little fraction of a man.
Whoa, you are going after him.
And you're scared, and you're in a panic because your world is changing, and they'll never come back. So too bad for you. Keep living in your hell, and I'll keep on gaining wealth and gaining power and helping the next generation achieve a great life while you stew in your hatred and stupidity.
Yeah, but...
So that's why I have to say it.
Yeah, but hold on here. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Oh, there may be some truth to what you're saying, but or facts at least to what you're saying. But are you speaking in love or disdain?
Actually, I would call it love, because I'm trying to wake him up from his hateful and stupid ideology of life.
But how come it? Am I a woman, or is it disdainful how you sound?
Yeah, it's tough love. That's all it is.
There are some facts. There's some facts to what you're saying, and I think he knows that. He has said as much, that he's afraid of this evil that's befalling the world, and it's not this change is not really for the better, man. It's very communist and worldly to deal with one part of evil, which is when whites hate people, and not deal with all evil, which is the people hating the whites.
You have heard me say many times that I reject all evil. I reject all kinds of hatred. I don't. I love white people. I don't hate white people, and I don't want to see any harm come to white people. Like I said, my wife is white. My family, a big part of my family is white. So. And
you yourself are part white, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Are you light-skinned or just part white?
Just part white, like most people. Like I told you. Did you know that Obama and George W. are sixth cousins?
Oh, really? The plot thickens.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's just, this whole, you're white, black thing is just completely asinine and stupid, and it's not rooted in any facts, because we're all related to each other. If you go back far enough, we're all family. So it's just.
Even if we weren't related, we love one another.
You're supposed to. That's what God commanded us to do, correct?
Correct.
So it's interesting how people like Mark say, I'm not hating anyone, I'm just loving the white race. And it's funny how you only hear Nazis or Klan members say that. So it betrays what's really in their heart, the hatred and the stupidity. So
I know, but don't they throw around the term Nazi and Klan member like willy-nilly? And they do it to smear the whites. This racism thing, it's done to smear the whites.
I wouldn't say that because, again, there are actual neo-Nazis now and actual Klan members still.
There may be. Part of that is because of the creation of them by way of, you know, when the world bears down hatred on a person who cannot deal with the hatred of the world coming at him, they react in bad ways.
You could say the same thing about the gangbangers in Chicago, can't you?
Yes, you can. When their mothers and the world hates them, they and people do hate them. Then they hate one another. They turn that way. Yeah, for sure. So let's have understanding for the Nazis and Klan members and gang members.
Yeah, believe it or not, I do have an understanding. It doesn't excuse their behavior. But
Do you want to talk with this caller whom you addressed just now?
Sure. Is he coming online?
I don't know if he wants to talk to you, but I will bring him on. Mark, were you calling to talk to Joe?
Well, no, I mean, since you guys are talking about me, I'll defend myself.
Okay, now keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. I don't want this to go spiral out of control. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, they will never be equal. They will always be behind. They will always have to have special programs and special privileges because they're not equal and they never will be. IQ tests prove it, buddy. And you are is a creation of race mixing.
One at a time.
Bastardized person. You represent the
Hold on. Joe, don't.
No, he's going on and on.
I know, but let him go on and on for at least like 1 minute, and then you respond. So I know that it's hard to hold in all the different points that he's making. Make 1 to 2 points, Mark, and then let's hear Joe's response. So you said blacks will always be behind. They always need these special programs.
They'll never be equal. They'll always be behind. They'll always have to have special programs and special privileges if they're ever going to aspire to be equal, because the only equality you can give them is artificial. Affirmative action is artificial equality. And furthermore, there isn't one black nation on earth that a white man could be safe in. They're all, they will destroy you. They don't believe in democracy. Look at our major cities that have been taken over by people like him.
Okay.
What he is a freak of nature.
All right. What do you mean by freak of nature? Because since you mentioned that.
He's a half-breed.
Oh, come on, man. Well...
That says it all.
All right, Mark, hold on. Okay.
All right.
Joe in Phoenix, he said blacks are...
The biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action are white women, you idiot. And
bull crap.
Okay.
Affirmative action, you people wouldn't have a job.
No, Mark, hold on.
Sure. Shut up, Mark, you're an idiot.
No.
Kiss my ass.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to drop you.
Mindless fraction of a man.
You see what it's all name calling. It's all name calling.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You're an idiot.
Mark, thanks for calling. I'm gonna drop you. I appreciate your call, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mark has nothing, Hake. He has nothing to be proud of. No accomplishments, no achievements. So he clings to a melanin as some kind of badge of honor. So he has nothing in his life, and he never will because he's stupid and spineless and a fraction of a man. That's who he is.
Yeah, but address his points, the affirmative action thing and how black nations and black areas are antagonistic towards whites in many ways.
Where do you see that, James?
South Africa, for example.
Well, that's a hugely complicated country, isn't it?
Yeah.
After many.
But it's a simple issue of there's a whole lot of accepted hatred towards whites in that country. He said there's not a single black nation on earth that's where the whites are safe.
And that's just stupid too. I mean, look at the Caribbean.
But that's not really a black nation. Maybe it is. I don't know. Is the Caribbean safe?
Absolutely.
It's the Caribbean is safe.
I've gone over this. I've gone over this with Jesse many times.
Okay, so you consider that black run and a black nation?
What do you mean consider it? It is a black nation.
Okay.
The government is black. The majority of the population is black. Absolutely.
I heard Uganda's fairly Christian. Some of the more Christian black nations are a little more white friendly, I think, maybe.
Of course.
But he's talking about how, these black areas, many of them are inhospitable to one another and to whites. Like, the crime is out of control in these cities that are black run. Crime is out of control in South Africa. It's like the murder rates through the roof toward blacks and whites.
You know what's interesting, James?
Yeah.
There's a new mayor in Chicago, and if you look at the Cook County records, violent crimes are down 12% in his first year. That's progress. It's moving in the right direction.
Oh, you think that guy is doing a good job?
I'm just saying the facts.
I know, but the facts are not truth.
The crime rate is going down 12% in his first year. That's not bad.
You think that's
in the right direction?
You think that's the work of the black leadership there, including that Brandon Johnson socialist mayor, who's even, well, he is a man. He's in office. He's in office, and crime's going down 12%. Is it actually going down, or are they cooking the books?
Well,
he's been in office during cold months. Numbers. He's only been in office during cold months.
It's been a year, James.
Oh, well, when it gets hot, that's when crime goes up, because they step outside.
We'll see.
I think you're bringing up obscure exceptions rather than the rule. Sean, the producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, quotes from The Guardian and Statista. The Caribbean island of Trinidad, or Caribbean, I call it Caribbean, out of Trinidad, grapples with a national crisis of violence. Statista in 2022.
I didn't say Trinidad. I said Turks and Caicos.
Who's ever heard of Turks and Caicos?
Turks and Caicos.
Oh, stupid.
It's an island in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, the highest homicide rate among 20 Latin American and Caribbean countries surveyed was in Jamaica, with around 52.2 murders committed per 100,000 inhabitants. That's wild.
Well, 52 out of 1,000 is not a huge amount. But
that is a huge amount. Are you kidding me?
Where's the percentage there, James?
It's a tiny percentage, but it's a murder rate that's...
Okay, then.
No, hold on. Listen to this. A murder rate that is above 30 per 100,000 is huge. There are cities that have a murder rate of like 16 per 100,000, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. 52. Our worst cities...
Countless studies showing that crime is more a factor of poverty and education than it is melanin, James. So.
Some of those studies are done by liberals, and when you compare poor people to poor whites to the richer blacks, I think the poor whites don't have as much crime. The point is, you're trying to change the subject.
What kind of crime? Because white collar crime is.
We're talking about murders and violent crime.
Yeah, okay.
You're changing
the.
You keep on. You keep on changing.
Crime, is it not, James?
You keep on changing this. Are you going to let me talk? You keep on changing the subject to avoid the truth. That violent crime is.
The truth is.
What?
Again, the truth is that less than 1.05% of black people commit violent crimes.
So you're saying these black countries are violent because they're poor. Why are they poor?
Again, whole lot of reasons why they're poor.
Exactly. Especially their immorality. Immorality breeds physical poverty and violence.
You have no proof of that.
You don't know that? What in the world? You're going to deny that people's immorality causes them to be poor?
Give me an example of that, James.
Lack of character. You're bumping a log, you don't work, you get poor.
Well...
You don't get married. You don't mothers and fathers do not get married, and therefore the single mothers more likely to be poor.
We can agree on all that.
So that's more immorality.
But people don't work in these countries. That's why they're poor. That's nonsense, John.
It's immorality, and they're also more socialist and Satan listening, all kinds of crazy stuff.
James, nothing creates poverty like communism. That crushes
Statista. I know, and blacks tend to fall for communism more. They fall for the woman lie of communism.
Russia, Bulgaria, Eastern Bloc countries, all that communism just crushed people.
I know. Just because other people are falling for
terrible.
communism doesn't mean blacks disproportionately fall for communism.
The countries that its neighbor are mostly white, Jay.
I know. Just because other countries fall for communism doesn't mean that blacks aren't doing it. Other nations, other races fall for communism doesn't mean that blacks aren't disproportionately doing it. Your answer is whites do it too.
No, it's not. I'm just saying. It has nothing to do with melanin counters.
I never said it did. I never said it did.
You're saying
blacks are
versus
fed.
whites.
I know, but if you look at, you're trying to act like I'm attributing it to their melanin or their race. I'm attributing it to their mindset. Blacks have a mindset of blackness and
Look, Jay,
and woman and unchristian.
We have agreed many, many times that people should get married before having babies. People should work hard, should start their own businesses, should be moral, strong, upstanding. Men should be leading when we agree on all that.
The Statista reports that
agree on that.
the Caribbean stands out as one of.
James?
Hold on. The Statista reports the Caribbean stands out as one of the most violent regions in the Americas, registering some of the worst murder rates in the continent, North and South America.
And yes, I'm aware, chap, that Russia hasn't been communist for a very long time. But the effects of it are still being felt, not just in Russia, but in other Eastern Bloc countries as
Good
well.
for you, paying attention to the chat. I'm Hake, you are ignorant on this concept. What concept? Username. Interesting, man. Well, that was a mess. Thank you, Joe in Phoenix.
I knew it.
No,
He was so upset.
I was
He
in.
was so upset because I hit home, and I pinpointed exactly why he was so upset and why he's such a loser in life. So that's why he was so upset.
Well, you see, you're also a snake who seems to celebrate the destruction of people whom you despise. Because you sound like you're gloating.
Destruction, no.
You sound like you're gloating on him.
Because I exposed his hatred and his stupidity, absolutely.
With your hatred and stupidity. Two devils
no
fighting.
Hatred here. No hatred here at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe in Phoenix, Arizona. Fun call. Appreciate you, man.
That was fun. Have a good day, Jim.
All right. Bye. Ned Post says Haiti is the SH. Well, he didn't say H. Whole country that committed white genocide. Yeah, Haiti's suffering even worse than the Dominican Republic. And they're just the other half of the little island there. Well, I don't know about little. Of the island there. They get all the terrible things happening to them. They seem to bring it on themselves. Whew. I have a super chat that I want to read from buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Vishnu, Destroyer of Worlds. Did you watch last night's 4th schoolyard brawl? Moderated by women. Men. You know it's pointless. He's referring to the RINO debate. My avatar, Vivek, totally exposed Nimarata. Nimrod. That's not a bad word, is it? Oops. Don't say that, kids. And Krispy Kreme as corrupt, forever war, neocon, revolving door, commie capitalist, government, shills, says Vishnu, Destroyer of Worlds, with his 2 coffees. After listening to her thoughts that the October 7th Israel attack on Israel, right, was orchestrated by Iran to ruin Putin's birthday. Whoa. She couldn't name one Ukraine province they've been fighting over for years. Vacuous anger occurs at 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 28 seconds, and he shares the Rumble link to the 4th presidential primary RINO debate for 2nd place behind Trump, so it's meaningless, kind of, but it's kind of fun and entertaining and informative on these people's mindsets. Mama Krispy Kreme, that's Chris Christie, Fat RINO, couldn't name any either, but white knighted for Nimarata, that's Nikki Haley. That's her real name is Nimarata, Nimrod, which is Indian for Nimrod. Nah, sorry, maybe that's not a good example. So she could review her notes for 4 minutes, and her answer was still wrong. Mrs. Ned Flanders stepped in. All right, enough of that. Fee diddly dee, howdy partner, aw shucks. Hold on to your belt buckle. There's a new sheriff in town, buddy boy. Pew pew. I don't know if that's by Mrs. Ned Flanders. Who's he talking about? Ned Flanders is a reference to The Simpsons, which I never really watched because I was a good Christian. My mother didn't allow me to watch that worldly grown-ups TV show cartoon. Is he referring to DeSantis or who? Oh, maybe the debate moderator or something. Vivek told Krispy Kreme he could get off the stage to go eat food. Whoa. The biggest winner, again, was Trump. Candidates parroted Trump's successes, or they agreed with Vivek, who also adopted Trump's ideas. He is the pick-me MAGA candidate. And I appreciate him. Ramaswamy's campaign must be watching America first, since he followed Fuentes' advice for 3 debates. Ramaswamy reposted Fuentes on X for hilarious soy face over demon rat demographic replacement. Imagine this is demographic replacement, and I'm going, look at this. That's funny. Nice. Thank you, Vishnu, destroyer of worlds. I did not know that. That's cool. Wow. Let me play this clip from in the spirit of the RINO debate. Let me play this clip. It's 41 that I want to play. End Wokeness posted an overreaction to Van Jones. Van Jones, who was... he's a former communist, I guess. I think he used to identify as a communist. And I say former because that's what he says. Don't they all? Melts down over Vivek, per End Wokeness on X, talking about the Great Replacement theory, and I disavow the Great Replacement. I'm not for that. Literally, I was shaking. I don't buy into replacing whites. Don't do that. Stop it. And I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. Literally, I was shaking listening to him. Here's the 29-second clip of him on, I guess, CNN or something. Here's Van Jones. He's black. Here it is.
And the smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
Oh, one step away. If it's one step away from it, then it's not Nazi propaganda, buddy. How about that? And by the way, many people who do very evil things will say stuff that is true. There's factual information to their gripes. Their only lie that they bought into is the same lie that you bought into, Van Jones, which is anger. You woman. Literally shaking. He trembles at the truth. The devil trembles at the truth. Told by God's man, Vivek Ramaswamy, who's not a Christian either. And just for good measure, Nikki Haley on TikTok and anti-Semitism. No hyphen, kiss up word. 42. I have 42 there, Hassan, do I? This is from The Blaze, reposting a video shared by The Recount on X. Nikki Haley says, for every 30 minutes, this is not how she sounds, that someone watches TikTok every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic, more pro-Hamas. So you see it there? Here it is, Nikki Haley.
We really do need to ban TikTok once and for all. And let me tell you why. For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic, more pro-Hamas based on doing that. We now know that 50% of adults 18 to 25 think that Hamas was warranted in what they did with Israel. That's a problem.
Don't you like her accent? Nimarata, Nikki Haley. Don't you like her accent? married Michael Haley, by the way. South Carolina governor. What happened to the beautiful South that they voted for that? Maybe they were suckered by the mama spirit, nicey nice, and hometown or down home accent. Why is she so Semitic? I don't know. I don't know what. We need to ban TikTok, she says. Why are they fighting this and they don't say a word about the anti-white, anti-man? I'm shaking my head. I'm literally shaking my head. Well, I crack myself up. Let me get to William in California on the line. William, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
Sometimes. How you doing, brother?
Doing fine.
Thank
How are
you
you?
for taking my call. Hey, James, seen Rick was acknowledging me the other day. I didn't mean anything the other day with that kid. I just let it go because I think where he's coming from with the OG comment is that we did have a lot of older gentlemen in the neighborhood that kind of looked at you when you were a cornball and called you on it.
Okay.
Looked at you and just said, hey. They just looked at you and said, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
That's all that was. And I don't need to do that.
Right. Yeah. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, it's
never a problem for the show.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you're referring to when you called the Jesse Lee Peterson show and went after Jason from Buffalo, New York, saying
it was just more of just putting you in your place because Jesse's an older guy. I know what Jesse's intentions are, but I see through yours. It's just, bubblegum stuff.
Yeah.
And we had guys in the neighborhood that used to call us on that. And that's what Rick was talking about within the black community.
And OG. So when you heard OG, did you think original
gentleman.
Old gentleman?
Yeah.
Not original gangster.
Yep.
All right.
You didn't want to mess with those guys.
Yeah.
They were, everybody's father, grandfather, all that kind of stuff. You didn't mess around with those guys.
Yeah.
They called you on your stuff.
Nice. Okay. So that's what you were trying to do.
That's all. Yeah.
All right.
The Caribbean thing, I've been to a couple of those countries, and outside the tourist areas, it can absolutely be dangerous.
Yeah. Yep. And is it pronounced Caribbean or Caribbean?
Whichever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say there's some unsafe places, definitely in Jamaica, that you don't want to be. They'll take your shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and what do you attribute it to? Do you attribute it to poverty or melanin or what?
Well, I don't know. I don't think these places are anything to be bragging about because I don't really know. I've lost count through the 90s and 80s that who was actually colonized. I think Jamaica, Bahamas. I think that's the Queen. Who else? It depends on who colonized them.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And we don't have too much to be bragging about as far as Obama libraries. I mean, I respect Joe, but Obama libraries and the gloating of wishing the demise of certain people. The blacks are actually doing the same thing that they're accusing whites of doing.
Right. Yeah. And there are like fellow whites or not normal whites who are celebrating this stuff. Like yes, whites becoming a minority. I don't particularly love white people. This one Kaiser woman who's on a female state senator out of Washington, I think. I forget. Coming on the Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
No love.
Yeah.
No particular love.
How are you holding public office and you are racist against a group
of
people?
Right.
But that's not how it's going to be forever. I don't know. Everybody is not really thinking, that it's over in about 13 months.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody's getting their licks in and bragging and all that stuff and boasting. But there's not too much to boast about. I know that the black agenda has never really made anybody any money except for the people who's on top.
Yeah. I think it has to do with
Jackson.
I think it really has to do with what you talk about a lot, which is it's a woman-led
Yep.
and Satan-led, really, mindset that so many blacks have fallen into. And they've been encouraged by the outside world to believe in this racism stuff and support their race almost as much as anybody, or maybe even more than anybody. I know that Jewish people support their own, and I know that Asians support their own, and whites are not really encouraged to support their own, and Mexicans support their own sometimes. But they also hate those groups also hate one another.
Yeah. The ones
and
that
they have a
are,
mama spirit.
The ones that like to boast about their group actually do more hate than
and self-harm.
Yeah.
Self-harm.
Right.
Or harm one another.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And that's nothing to brag about. It's an alarming number of black female mothers right now.
Yeah. Speaking
arrested right now. No.
Oh, getting arrested? Yeah.
Yes, man, high numbers. And everybody's going to look back at this period of wokeness, and you're going to look up and see people in jail for 10, 15 years.
There was a caller, somebody in the chat is mentioning Maze from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. She referred to you as a w-word-igger way.
Okay.
A wigger.
Usually when you have black women that respond to black men like that, it's usually because they're behind. I don't make a thing of pointing out how she is or what she is,
right.
what she appears to be. That's not important to me.
Behind how? How do you think these women who despise the men who don't sufficiently hate blacks, who hate whites,
What, they don't take any mess off of them and live their life and take care of themselves and don't need them?
They're behind?
Talking about those guys that live their lives and
right.
don't need people like that?
No, but what do you mean the women who do that, who despise the men, black men?
They're very behind.
They're behind
very
how?
Behind. I mean, they were dismissed in the early 90s. They're old and worn out.
Oh, old and worn out is different from behind. What do you mean?
Completely behind. Behind times. Nobody's oppressing you because you're a woman.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's
So they're living in the
past.
past.
Yeah, nobody's picking on you.
That's true. I think there's some truth to that, honestly.
This is not an attack or nothing, James, but nobody's, you guys are not that important.
Yeah, okay, so I think there's some truth to that. She is kind of living in the past. She's brought up before where she told her children not to move off the sidewalk for any white people because when she was a kid, she had to do that. So she is traumatized by that hatred, resentment.
You know what, man? I'm going to say something about that. That your caller does that a lot. I'm going to say something. That person is really close to my age. And, James, I'm going to have to tell you, you can ask Rick, you can ask Mark. We really didn't, this age group right here that I am, we didn't really experience that, James. We really didn't.
Oh.
So
I don't know.
It's kind of reaching.
She just sounds young and energetic. She could be.
She could be sincere, but
she could be older though. She could have gone through that. I think she might have gone through that. She's just young and healthy and energetic.
Whoa. Well, what does that have to do with now?
Right. Yeah, I know. I agree with you there. And it's not that big of a deal to move off. I move off the sidewalk every day for these Jewish women and other women walking on the sidewalk afraid of the China virus. I move off the sidewalk every day.
Yeah.
And I say, yes, ma'am.
I'll walk. I'll get away from you if you're rolling on the ground getting arrested for being picked on because you're black. Yeah, I'm going to go around.
Yep. Nice.
If you're a victim, I'm going to avoid you. I don't need to have a victim in my life,
Well, I appreciate it, William. Thank you for responding to that. I just wanted to allow you to
Thank you for taking
opportunity.
my call.
Take care.
All right.
Bye. So, let's talk about these demon rats. I call them demon rats, guys. I have this tweet. It says, protect trans kids. Democrats, 1, X post. In that main folder there, I have a whole bunch of mess in this folder for Hassan, my trusty sidekick. And here's the image description. A navy blue colored graphic with text that reads, protect trans kids, protect trans kids, protect trans kids, protect trans kids, protect trans kids. That sounded like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, no, I just can't count. Yeah, and it says it 5 times. And the Democrats on X posted on X. What did they post? They posted this meme. Unlike Republicans, we stand with trans kids across the country. You see that other one there, Hassan? The one that says number 1 or whatever? No, not that one, but the one before it or after it or something. That one. Look at that. Very creative, very eye-catching. When you repeat something that much, it's kind of like new, the children's brand that's satanic and blurs the lines between boys and girls, does not distinguish between them. So evil. The Satan way, not the godly way. Because there's a godly way not to distinguish between men and women in terms of you love them all. But the satanic way is, oh, they're all physically the same. They're all the same. We treat them the same. They can go into one another's bathrooms and have the S word. And by the way, adults, and it's all disgusting, satanic. Protect is in blue. Trans is in like off-white or yellowish white. Kids is in this pale reddish, pinkish color. Protect is in pink. Trans is in blue. Kids is in white. Protect is in white. Trans is in red. Kids is in blue. Protect is in blue. Again, trans is in blah, 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 blah. Protect trans kids. The Democrats is a Twitter account. Presumably the evil Democrat Party. Unlike Republicans, we stand with trans kids across the country. They're not for children. They're for the trans part. They're not for the children. They are wolves in sheep's clothing who would support the delusion or mental illness or condition of transiality, which is a satanic social construct, to use their word. And therefore bringing forth the evil in kids so that they feel good about being confused, messed up, wrong. So sick, right? That's why I call them demon rats. You follow that? Because they're demon possessed and they're rats. Rats, human beings. They're human beings, okay? The Democrats are human beings. The kids are human beings. And I protect the kids who are into this trans mess in whatever way I can, right? We love the kids who are lost in this trans mess, if we love anybody. So just don't protect the trans in the kids. Protect the kids from the trans within them. It's not you, children. It is not your identity. Don't get wrapped up in this false idea of identities. Some people say trans kids don't exist. True. This trans thing that they are pushing right now is another victimhood, mama spirit, feel special, mumbo jumbo mess. We know, and they know, and in many cases the mothers are pushing them into this. and my former Christian guest. Remember that guy? I've mentioned him many times. Living rent-free in my head. What's his name? Tomfoolery. Participates in this tomfoolery called this transgender mental illness, mental health, medical treatment for the children. So he takes the sides of the courts and the evil mothers or stepmothers against the common sense of the man, the father, God. So terrible. Oh, and of course, there were some responses. Hassan, you can show those replies. Liz Wheeler, a popular blonde gal on X. Please accurately describe what you support. Using pharmaceuticals to stunt natural development during puberty, which carries lifelong consequences, and then surgically mutilating the children by castrating young boys and ruthlessly removing the healthy breasts and uteruses, sorry kids, of young girls, or faint of heart, people with weak stomachs. Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, why are you losing normal people every day? Everyday people, normal everyday people. History will judge you, says Natalia Soria. I don't care about history. God is the judge. Representative Adam Schrablip. Unlike Democrats, we believe child mutilation is a crime. Groomers, I disavow that word. We should be grooming our beards and hair and washing our face. Ray James says there's no such thing as that. Lado Bitnar, trans kids don't exist. Whoa. But the children exist. It's just that the imagination that they've bought into and has affected their bodies and minds. Protect them from what? The parents who enable this? Asks Derek. That's right. That's right, buddy. So, Hassan, real quick, I want to play this clip. Clip 31A, Hassan. Speaking of families and speaking of whites, replacement, heaven, families, you know, families and upstanding whites. Heaven on earth, right? Rejected by hell. Libs of TikTok posted this. Clip 31A. Elementary school teacher is disgusted by a lesson plan showing a straight white family. The horror! Here's the TikTok video of this gal. Me, 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 meow. And meow, meow, meow. Here it is. Bam!
Happy Friday, but can I ask you a serious question? How is it 2023 and this, I'll show you in a minute, is what we are saying the majority of families look like?
Families.
This
Man, woman, child.
Majority families.
Brown-haired man, good tan.
Don't get me wrong. There are families like that. And those families have plenty of things dedicated to them. Movies and books and holidays and all the things.
All the
things. Like, if we're really getting serious about what people think teachers are doing in the classroom, why is that on a book? Why is that a picture representing families? I'm just asking.
Just asking.
On this Friday.
On this Friday. That's it. And she's in her classroom with this ugly fluorescent lights, soul-killing fluorescent overhead lights in this classroom. This soul-sucking teacher. She's an elementary school teacher. Mildly attractive, nice tan, a little portly, you know, a little heavy, dirty blonde, sandy blonde hair, sort of a cute accent, families. Just asking a serious question. Can I ask a serious question? I think I have the screenshot of this, let's see. Lesbo-teacher 1, libs of TikTok. That's not a bad word. That's not a slur, right? I can say that. Don't say lesbo, kids. A picture of this family. It's a blurry picture of this father She's showing it on her something, I don't know. On her, her computer screen. Multiplication and division fact family practice book. And she's pretending like this is supposed to be the majority of families. And I agree with her. I don't like that they only have one child. Single, lone children, only child people are oftentimes spoiled. I heard growing up, and then I found out that I was spoiled too. Although I wasn't spoiled in the sense that I was like this nasty attitude that nobody wanted to be around. Not in that sense, but spoiled in other ways. Look at this. Brown-haired father with a nice tan, like he could be Hispanic. That could be a Hispanic father. I cracked. I'm growing. My voice cracked. And a mother, you can't see her eyes, with sandy blonde hair, sandier, darker, light brown, than the teacher, I will have you notice. And a one little boy child. I am disgusted by this too. It should be, if we're talking multiplication, they should have multiplied. Having one child is not multiplying. You're multiplying by a fraction. You're going from 2 to 1. No, you're supposed to have multiple children. That's what multiplying is. You're supposed to have minimum 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they all came down to the Ladybug's picnic. But these are supposedly white. Nice tans, so they look like they could be Hispanic. And nothing wrong with Hispanic people. Hake, you were likely spoiled with attention, says used name. What do you mean by that? Spoiled by your attention. You spoil me, used name. The horror, triple exclamation mark. Libs of TikTok. Not a Christian. Her name is Chaya. 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 Nice name. I like that name. I've known a Chaya before. Rachik, something like that. She's Jewish. And she's not for this all-out insanity. She might. Well, I don't know. Many of these people who are against this over-the-top insanity are themselves into deviant behavior. You know, we all got our issues. Can I ask a serious question? Asks this teacher. Can you believe I did not have teachers like this woman? I had Mrs. Gustafson, who said ain't. There's no such, no, she did not say there ain't no. There's no such thing as ain't. Because somebody's all, I ain't. She was I doxed her only because she has passed. She allegedly caught the China virus and passed on. She was in her 90s. Okay? She was in her 90s. Rest in peace, Mrs. Gustafson. And, and she was old school. So she was old when I was, well, she has gray hair anyway. She might have been in her 40s, 50s. When I had her for a teacher. And then I had, I don't want to dox all my childhood teachers. But I feel like doxing all my childhood teachers. Mrs. Turberg. Older. Mrs. I don't know if I want to say these last names. But they're such interesting last names. Come to think of it. Mrs. Cianfrini. Mrs. Well, I was homeschooled 3rd grade. But there was one, I forget her name. And then I had Mr. Miller, based, a man. I was clapping all loud like this. And he yelled at the whole class. And I was benched by him one time. I put a thick thorn, big old thorn, on a girl's chair. And she told on me. I deserved to get tattletaled on that. I had Mrs. Otter, old school. didn't buy into this gay thing, which that was the first time they came up with, because she taught us the word homo means same. Homo sapiens, homo whatever. There's different homonyms, things that sound the same. And then somebody asked about homosexual, because that was starting to come into the lexicon, and she said, that's a word that they made up for something twisted or perverted. See? Mrs. Otter. This woman is no Mrs. Otter. I had good teachers. Mrs. Jansen. A child of Japanese internments. Japanese internment camp child. Great English teacher, by the way. Mr. Welch. A great history teacher. I learned a little bit from him. Homo erectus. I disavow that one. So, yeah, my teachers weren't these insane people. So cut the younger whippersnappers some slack. They were born and bred and brainwashed and marinated in this insanity. So this gal, her name is Toontown4 on TikTok. Don't harass her, guys and gals, unless it's Brandon M. I don't know if Brandon M. still listens to my show. Her name is Adriana. Adriana, not Adriana, because she looks white, not Hispanic. And she says that she is states on her TikTok that she is an elementary teacher with a passion for inclusion. And here's another piece of her inclusion. This might shed some light or darkness on why she thinks the way she does. 31B, her pinned TikTok has her with a little towhead boy. I just learned it's Towhead. Cute little boy, by the way. I thought it was toe, Toe, like a big toe, like Joe Rogan. But it's towhead, like towing, I don't know what it is. The little boy dancing with her. I think it might be supposedly her child. And then the music turns dark and evil in this little TikTok dance. And this woman kisses up with her. Some other woman. And they're like, lesbian. Ugh. Nasty. It explains her portliness. Because oftentimes lesbians are more fat. Because they're more emotionally attached, not eyes attached by your looks, the way males are. So, yeah, because I thought people's heads look like a toe. But no, it's T-O-W. And a towhead is actually like a sandbar on the side of a river. So, interesting, huh? But anyway, here's this pinned TikTok, and it's disgusting. Cover your eyes, kids and ears. I have it playing backwards. I think it's this dark Rihanna song, Riri. I like her music, but I turned it backwards. And so cover your ears too and eyes because it's satanic messages. But I didn't want to get copyright claim. So here's the TikTok dancing tweet from this dancing TikTok from this elementary school teacher who says majority families shouldn't be white families with a father and mother with children. That's a real family, is father and mother with children. But anyway, here's her fake family. Here it is. See, here she is. Mildly attractive. Oh! I censored it. Look, slow-mo. Look at cute little towhead. I covered his face to protect him. And this old woman. Here, play part C one more time. Cover your eyes and ears again. I did another version. It's the same thing, really, basically. One more time. And I got it. Terrible. Cute little dance. Oh, it's so harmless. No, it's not. Tattoos on her arm, by the way. She's young. She doesn't know better. I should have censored more than that. How's being a L word treating you? Cover the old hag. Mildly cringy. Yeah, I agree, Lisa, our resident health expert. Why, Hake? Why do you subject us to this? Well, let me subject you to Christmas music, guys. It's Christmas time. It's past the top of the hour. I'm tired of hearing my voice. And I want to hear, it's Frodus Thursday. Frodus, that post-punk band or whatever they are from DC or whatever. Here's a spin-off called The Out Circuit. The Out Circuit is the band. The Out _Circuit. And this track is entitled Emmanuel. And it's from the 2004 compilation All I Want for Christmas by Lujo Records, put out by Lujo, L-U-J-O, or Lujo Records. I misread it. It's a really nice track. Cool vibe for my taste. I like the guitars. So, and it's a Christmas hymn or whatever. Emmanuel, God with us. Be right back for the rest of hour 2.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou dayspring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent, and drive away the shades of night, and pierce the clouds and bring us light. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
Wasn't that nice? I liked it. I hope you guys did too. A nice, serious vibe, right? It was done with proper respect. Come on, man, says Karen Carpenter sings this song better. Oh, well, I know. I know that. Nate, I'm blanking on his name, of Frodus, formerly of Frodus, F-R-O-D-U-S, now then of the Out Circuit here. Doesn't have the best voice, but it's a nice voice for what it does sometimes, you know? But yeah, Karen Carpenter, where is she now? She, I think she got that thing where anorexia. I think she died at a pretty young age, but she did have a beautiful voice. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find, totally off key, I know, is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me on the top of the world. So off key, I know, but it's such a good song. The Carpenters, she and her brother. That's so wrong that she died of that. She might have even been a liberal. She had anorexia. Yeah, she died of anorexia, says Lisa J. Fox. Oops, I doxed her name. Of resident health expert. Don't do that. What really is the point of the Hake report? Meaningless, meaningless. It is all meaningless. Jesus is master, also known as spoiler alert, says press W if you had a Mr. Welch in school. I know that was a safe name to dox, right? I felt like that was a safe name to dox, I guess. He's the one who said there's always a loser in war. There is not always a winner. In war, there is always at least one loser, and there is not always a winner. Isn't that true? I mean, it's just so simple. I like it when I had male teachers. They thought like men, and the women thought more manly too. Caught in the Middle was in the chat. He said, you should have covered a lot more. You haven't even disavowed it yet. My goodness, Hake, you're going wild. It's true. It's true. Getting corrupted by the world. True religion that God our Father accepts as pure and holy as this, something like that. To look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. Okay? There is no point. Hake is a lifestyle channel, says Gypsy Chip Chap. Super chats, let me just double check for any super chats. This one guy says, my gift to you. My gift to you. Okay? Nice. Right on. He thinks he's owed an apology. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Wish you well. If I wish anyone well, I wish you well. Chris Person 77 bought a couple of coffees saying, hey, have a coffee. Why not? Well, because Chris Person, Folgers is probably liberal. Pete's Coffee, anti-white. They smear the whites in those commercials. I played those cringy commercials. Mention cringe, but those commercials are enough to make a man cringe. And that's not good. That's evil. But don't repay evil with evil. So Pete's Coffee's out. Cosmic is owned by McDonald's, which is pro-illegal alien and anti, Christian probably, commie capitalists. So they're out. Starbucks is pro-radical homosexual and against Christians and whites. So they're kind of out. And men. And so what, maybe you're bringing you're making and Black Rifle's out. They threw Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse under the bus. So Black Rifle is out. So, I don't know, all these coffees are out. But thank you, Chris Person 77, appreciate it. My close and personal friend Jib Jab bought 9 coffees. Give me your best Sleepy Joe impression. You guys, you're missing one at the dinner table. Because 5 billion people are dead. Dead! Dead! You know, my son, what's his son who died? My son, who? Bo. My son Bo. He died. Got brain cancer. Joel Friday of Joel Friday TV on Tuesdays and sometimes Fridays and stuff says that's too clear of speech. Because I've done it before. You couldn't pass gun control laws in the past. How are we to trust you this time? Because I got it done before. His dentures are falling out. That's an attempt. My close and personal friend Jib Jab with the 9 coffees. Very generous. Thank you, man. someone bought a coffee to clarify my coffee message about mortgages and whether or not you own a home. In a prior episode some time ago, either your show or JLP, can't remember, you mentioned that you rent a room to live in. That doesn't mean I don't own a home. And that may not still be the case. And you know too much, you've been listening too closely, someone. So I wasn't trying to, well, I did call you nosy, but you know, anyway, we like to keep things, some level of privacy and protection and non-doxing my status. So that was why I asked you about why you don't own a home. You made an assumption, but anyway, that's okay. You meant well. Plus, a caller not too long ago asked you if you thought you would buy a home soon. If you do make enough to make a mortgage in your area, you do, or if you don't, you don't. It just goes, and that's like personal information. One should not divulge their vaccination status, their income, how much their such and such pays whoever, and how much they donate and to whom, and all these things. Have some privacy. Don't put out everything that you ate. Don't put out who you're being degenerate with, and who your girlfriend's with, or whatever, or whether you have those AIDS. That's a throwback to the guy who used to own the Clippers. He's Jewish, and he mentioned Magic Johnson. He supported Magic Johnson when he had those AIDS. Don't mention like your, don't tell all the nitty gritty of your health and don't share your weaknesses. Stuff like that. Just have some level of mystique. But it just goes to the point of what employers pay versus what it costs to afford a home. And there are other ways to make money from other than employers, I will have you know, buddy. There are many, this is the land of opportunity. There are still many an opportunity to make money. Just ask the immigrants who are enterprising and oftentimes dishonest. They make it in dishonest means, but also by good old-fashioned working smart and making businesses and following the opportunities, okay? And you don't just have to have one employer, you know? So that was my point. Is don't be a socialist with this dumb living wage mumbo jumbo. And by the way, you don't have to own a home to live. But it is good to own land if you can. But thank you, someone. I do enjoy your super chats. I do honor the Jubilee, and you are not the person whom I accused you of being. Ignorantly and wrongly. I was wrong. I apologize to both of you. Thank you, man. I still stand behind that guy, Justin from Fullerton, and that man, Emmanuel from California, gave great advice. You spend so much that you don't even realize. And you can produce value in the world. And just because you have a job shouldn't be, it doesn't mean you deserve to be able to afford a mortgage or something like that. You shouldn't just get a raise just because you've worked at a company for such and such amount of time, you know? Oh, inflation. Doesn't mean you're bringing that much more value to the company. You should be paid based on the value you bring to the company. Are you bringing more value to the company? Do you treat your job as your business? If you own your own business, or you own your own home, you treat it differently. You own your stuff, you treat it differently from whether you're renting or giving it for free or whatever. You realize things. Human nature is just selfish and snake-like, and evil. So I disavow this socialism stuff. Socialism! Communism is capitalism is a stepping stone to communism. I will have you know, it is not the opposite. Okay? Capitalism can be used for good or for evil. It is a tool. Much like words. All right, that's enough of that. Let's listen to something more entertaining than Hake. Replaced! We have been replaced. I disavow replacement. I'm just kidding about that. Jasmine Crocket. Any relation to Davy? Clip 36. I wanted to get to this yesterday. Citizen Free Press posted this, sharing it from RNC Research. I disavow the RNC, RINO National Convention. They're anti-white, anti-men. But they share this post. It's a 17-second clip. Democrat Jasmine Crocket. She's in Congress. Calls Texas and Florida deplorable states. Why? Because their duly elected legislatures pass conservative bills, and then she bashes the anti-white Heritage Foundation. Anti-man. Run by a black woman, by the way. Heritage Foundation, I think. Something like that. Shout out to Heritage. Used to be much better than they are now. Here it is. Jasmine Crocket, clip 36.
In fact, Ms. Perry, I know your organization, the Heritage Foundation, loves Texas. Ooh, they love Texas. They always sending us some nonsense bills that somehow set this country on the wrong trajectory. They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
Crazy, huh? She's all bouncy and annoying. Was that entertaining or just obnoxious? You love Texas. You love Florida. You always sending your people out of these think tanks. Think tanks. I disavow think tanks. putting out these laws that set our country back in the wrong trajectory. What a GD joke, says Beta Legs. Do something with that forehead, says Steve Z. Whatever. Trajectory. She black. Mildly attractive, says Riley Mastro Pietro. You have good taste, man. I agree. She is mildly attractive. Jose agrees too. Love Hake's head movements. And I don't even really agree with these Republican legislatures' bills, you know? Because they don't fight with strength. They don't fight like men. They have some bills that sound like they're halfway reasonable in the right direction. But they're like, oh, we need to protect women's sports. I forgot to get my spittoon. I spit. Pooh! At women's sports. This is a beautiful spittoon. Got the real Mr. Mad sent it to me when I was out all those months. And it has places for your cigars or your alpha jerky. Set your alpha jerky here. Spit right there. Spit out the gristle. Is it called gristle? In the alpha jerky. The gristle is how you know it's real. Hake, what is beautiful woman? Asks Jupiter. You, Jupiter. Deep down, deep way down. Nah, I don't know, Jupiter. They bring in these, you know, the heartbeat bills. I don't know. You know, the aborsh mess. They'll stand up for abortion against anti-Semitism, and I'm putting that in quotes, air quotes, anti-Semitism. And nowadays they're spelling it with no hyphen to kiss up to make it seem like it's a real thing. It's not. There's either love or hate. If you don't love the Jews, you don't love anybody. If you hate the Jews, you hate everybody. It's not as if you love your own family or your own race or ethnicity or whatever, or a country. So there's no anti-Semitism. Hake, you were going to blind us with that reflection, says GMD Jim. On my forehead? I'm wiping my face. Oh, I shouldn't be touching my face. because I'm trying to keep from getting full-blown sick. Get my handkerchief out. But I wipe my face with my handkerchief like a lot. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so like I don't trust their bills. You know, their bills are causing some problems. Or I don't know if they're causing problems or if these evil people are just swooping in with the weird exceptions, weird quote-unquote gray area. I may get to that. Yeah, that forehead looking like Mr. Clean. Says Big Mitch, BG Mitch 909. Hey, nice area code, 909. I like 909. It's a great area. Sort of inland. I don't know if it's an area code. I'm not trying to dox his area code. Yeah, so I mean, they're just... But I criticize them for being namby-pamby, not far enough. It's in the general close, trying to be the right direction in terms of aborsh and, you know, the CRT stuff. This CRT fight, it's like too little too late. Like racism doesn't exist with my uptalk or my vocal inflection like a valley girl. Doesn't exist. Racism doesn't exist. And so I'm talking like, who's that gal who's supposed to have a better voice than Britney Spears, but she's a contemporary? Racism doesn't exist. And so why are you pretending this CRT thing, critical race theory, pretending like racism is this real thing and smearing the whites for it and putting women in charge of different things? You know, like your kiss-ups. You're a bunch of lame-o kiss-ups. And we are all lame-os, and we are all kiss-ups. We gotta overcome and repent and stuff like that. But it's, you know, this Jasmine Crocket woman is a mockery. She's making a mockery, this black female whom I just showed you guys. Do you guys want to see it again? 17 seconds? It's only 17 seconds. Let's play it one more time. If I lose a viewer or two, I won't hold it against you. It'll be my fault. Here it is. Here's this gal again.
In fact, Ms. Perry, I know your organization, the Heritage Foundation, loves Texas. Ooh, they love Texas. They always sending us some nonsense bills that somehow set this country on the wrong trajectory. They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
Well, she's a mess. You know, Congress is already a mockery. And she's making a mockery of the mockery. Jasmine Crocket. Why are they throwing out, okay, United States representative? How embarrassing. 42 years old. Hey, nice age. Hey. I'm saying hey to her. Jasmine Felicia Crocket. American lawyer / liar, and politician, evil woman, who is the U.S. representative from Texas's 30th congressional district since 2023 AD, the year of our Lord. South Dallas County, Tarrant County, Dallas Love Field Airport. Didn't they just throw out that guy who's fat and Hispanic and Holocaust survivor? His mother died in 9/11. He graduated from such and such university, only he really didn't do any of those things. Not any of those things. Pull up her IG, Hake. Normally I would, but I'm ill prepared this morning. She's making a mockery of this place, of this thing. She called those states deplorable. Well, I'm not concerned with words or what her opinion is. I mean, pots and kettles, Ms. Jasmine Crocket. Yeah, George Santos. Spoiler alert says, pay former Congressman George Santos for a cameo, a shout-out video. And he found his cameo. Cameo.com/gads. Gads. Former congressional quote-unquote icon. Painting nails emoji. What? Come on, George Santos, don't do that. That makes you sort of effeminate. But he is already sort of effeminate. He divorced his wife and turned gay or something like that. Or he turned gay and divorced his wife. I don't know. Not a good person, really, but no man is good. So, hey. Oh, book a personal video, $400. Oh, it used to be $10. Only 13 videos left. I think it used to be $10. Now it's $400. He's trying to weed out the riffraff. Darn. I'll start a Cameo. Maybe I'll start a Cameo once I start getting better at checking my emails. And I won't charge $400, I don't think. But she's a worse joke than George Santos. George Santos, at least he stood with Trump. Stood with Trump, whatever that even means, you know. He's a fake, but he's a friendly fake. They're every bit as big of fakes as all of Congress is. Him. Shameful. Speaking of fakes, gruesome Newsom throwback. This is from that little debate that he had with DeSantis, because we put respect on DeSanctimonious' name. Meatball Ron is vulgar. I'm not a vulgar person. I don't say that. Clip 37, I think, is in the folder there, Hassan. Clip 37. Gavin Newsom posted this on X. He's on X. I know why I'm here. I'm here to tell the truth about the Biden-Harris record. Funny that they put Biden-Harris. Normally, you just say Trump. They don't say Trump-Pence record. They say Trump record. Because Trump is the man who made it happen. Or couldn't make it happen, whatever. But made some stuff happen, okay? Moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Hey, he made it happen. Nice. Based. Actually, I don't know about that, but whatever. To contrast it with the Republican and DeSantis approach, states Gavin Newsom on this post, or his assistant, that is as different as daylight and darkness. That's a fact. Or maybe just twilight, late, dark, getting dark, and full-blown dark. Because really, that's what Republican is just getting dark, and Democrats just pure darkness. It's not... Republican is not really daylight, okay? Gavin Newsom, you're being too generous to the Republicans. Why are you here, Ron? So here's his minute-long clip, and he's bashing Ron DeSantis and standing up for women, killing the babies in the womb. Talk about evil and a joke. Here he is, I think. Check it out. 37.
I'm here to tell the truth about the Biden-Harris record and also compare and contrast Ron DeSantis' record and the Republican Party's record as a point of contrast that's as different as daylight and darkness. You want to bring us back to a pre-1960s world, America in reverse. You want to roll back hard-earned national rights on voting rights, on civil rights, on LGBTQ rights, on women's rights, not just access to abortion, but also access to contraception. You want to weaponize grievance. You are focusing on false separateness. You in particular, Ron, are on a banning binge, a cultural purge, intimidating and humiliating people you disagree with. You and President Trump are really trying to light democracy on fire. So, Sean, there are profound differences tonight, and I look forward to engaging them. But there's one thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
That's right. That's right. Oh, look at his face. That's the first time I've seen him look goofy. And it's just a middle of a changing of expression. It's not even all that, it's somewhat goofy. But anyway, he kind of reminds me and other people of American Psycho, which I don't really like that movie, but Hassan liked it. Who's that guy? McConaughey? Matthew McConaughey? No.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Liberals. Handsome liberals. The Welshman. He's Welsh, right? That's UK. Welsh from Wales. Is that UK? I think he's Welsh. Patrick Bateman. He reminds me of pure evil. Yeah, he's sort of slimy, greasy, slick, easy smile. Somebody said on X that he doesn't mind lying. You know, like he'll lie to your face and continue lying, like Obama. Just smooth and slick and sleazy and slimy. Weaponize grievance. That's what you do too. You do that too. Yeah, the Republicans are trying to do that too. Oh, we stand up for women, women in sports, girls sports. Weaponizing grievance. How about this transgender stuff and LGBT stuff and so-called same-sex marriage stuff and this sex out of wedlock stuff and this fake idea that sex and romantic quote-unquote love is actual love is a lie. Terrible lie. Dun, 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 dun. Great song. Liberal songwriter, that 9 Inch Nails guy, Trent Reznor. Terrible lie. This racism thing is a terrible lie. So yeah, no grievance. Oh, whites are victims now. Well, Adam West is the only Batman. I like the guy with the pointy eyebrows. He's short. 1988 or 89. Michael Keaton, yeah. And the guy who did the voice on the Batman the Animated Series, yeah. He died recently. Lin Yun Chin told me. Hake would be a 9 Inch Nails fan. No, I didn't listen to it as a kid. That was devilish. I only listened to 9 Inch Nails after I finished college. Hake doesn't believe in love. Not this fake idea of love that these people, I love you. Love is love. No, it's not. You don't know what love is. You gays who say love is love. And straights who fall for such a notion. You're not morally straight if you fall for that fake notion of love. Because that's immoral. You know? It's immoral. There's more than one way. You don't have to be gay to be not morally straight. False separateness, banning binge, cultural purge, light democracy on fire. Oh, you mean like smearing the Trump supporters and the January 6ers, mostly peaceful patriots, some of whom got a little out of hand and, you know, they're rough around the edges, which we show them understanding. I thought we were showing understanding to felons and violent people. We should show understanding to the blacks and whites and Hispanics who fall into violence. And then punish them properly with swift justice, but have understanding. And equal justice under the law. That's the only equal that I remotely subscribe to. I don't know if I'm using my words properly. People told me his wife pulled him off stage. Who didn't change her last name for him. I mean, granted, he was married to that woman who's with Don Jr. now. Poor Don Jr., and he's younger than her. And I kind of like that gal who's now with Don Jr. Except her choice of, you know, this false love that she's all into. I like Don Jr. What a mess. I stand for women's rights, not just aborsh, but access to contraceptive. You can afford your own birth control. You shouldn't even be taking it because you shouldn't even be having the S-word sex out of wedlock. And if you do, you should be responsible and have children from it, and it'll stop you from having S-word sex out of wedlock since you can't control yourself. Maybe your body will force you not to be having it so much, you know? But you just want to be irresponsible, like you think the men are irresponsible, which they kind of are, but you want to just be able to live longer. You know, I'm talking to these women who want their birth control, like Sandra Fluke. She spoke in front of Congress and said, I would spend $10,000 on birth control. I may be butchering the details, right? In my 4 years of college, you're not even supposed to be having the S word. You're not even supposed to be in college, unless you kind of have to be or something for whatever reason. And then you're having the S word out of wedlock. Yeah, Kimberly Guilfoyle, thank you, Kevin Howe. He spelled it differently. Yeah, she is already a single mother. Come on, Don Jr. He's like a lesser version, a more millennial Gen X, because he's Gen X, just a touch older than Hake, version of Donald Trump. Donald Trump was, evil to be divorcing and remarrying, right? That was wrong. But at least he did it in a manly way. Like, he was older than them. They're like much younger than him sometimes. But still of age, right? Of course. But at least it was like manly. Now it's getting girly, boyish with mama degeneracy. Don Jr., come on, man. And I like you. I totally like you. I don't want to. But it's just a sign of how far we've fallen as men. So here's this abortion story from Hake News the other day. This 31-year-old gal, Kate Cox. I have a picture of her. This gal is doing a lawsuit. This is a far-left foreign outlet, The Guardian, reporting about Texas. Susan Rincunas posted this on far-left Guardian. She wrote this article, I guess. The 5th of December, 2023. Texas woman. Looks almost like a girl, but she's 31, okay? Almost looks like a little girl. Files an emergency lawsuit to terminate her non-viable pregnancy. What do they mean by non-viable? What do they mean by it? That the child is just guaranteed to die in labor? No, that's not what they mean. They mean the prognosis of the child's condition is that the child, the boy, the girl, whatever, is going to die 5 to 10% of children with this condition that this child has. This is her third child, by the way. Third live child. Live, at least at this point that I know of. Has a condition called Edwards syndrome or something. Something 18. Has to do with chromosomes. The child is born or has a small head and something, and his fingers are like all overlapping. I saw on the Wikipedia page. I'm trying to demonstrate it with my hands. Those of you watching. All messed up. And so that's what they mean by non-viable. I don't know if that's legitimate. The child will still be, it's going to have a rough life, almost guaranteed, right? Probably won't even live past a year old. Only 5 to 10% live past a year old, or 6 months or a year old. But that's still a viable pregnancy. You can still have the baby. I think they have to C-section it for some odd reason. I know women who've had a C-section. Like their first child was a C-section, maybe the second, and then they had normal births, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, our resident health expert who knows health and women's stuff and medical better than me. Because I think you can have a C-section and then still have normal through the normal thing. She and her husband, Justin, because I'm like, where's the husband in this? Where's the man in this situation? She is married. She has 2 children. Trisomy Trisomy 18, also called Edwards syndrome, says Jesus is master. Spoiler alert. Nice. Trisomy 18. Yeah, I looked it up. This woman, I don't know, she could risk not being able to have other kids. Risk. The longer she keeps this pregnancy, the more of a threat to her health. I think that's the case with any pregnancy. Any pregnancy is somewhat of a threat to the mother's health. Women used often to die in labor. That's not a reason to kill the child. What the? Hake can't say the word, says Anonymous. I understand her position, basically. I understand it. What else does it say about her in this thing? Kate Cox. Is that her real name? Not trying to dox. 31-year-old, unable to get an abortion due to the multiple state bans. She's the first woman since Roe v. Wade to ask a court to allow the procedure of killing the baby. I noticed she's wearing black. She's wearing black in this picture. Sandy blonde hair, mildly attractive. Would you believe it? She's 31 and a mother of 2 already. Mothers used to look young like this. And she's not even that young. She's 31. And one of the risk factors of this trisomy 18 Edwards syndrome is older mothers. See? Older mothers, you wait too long to have a baby. I mean, granted, this is her third. That's not too shabby, right? But it's not great. Women should be having children when they're of childbearing age, which is a lot younger than than the 18. So society has changed, has made 18 the adult thing. And I accepted that's what I grew up in. It seems odd to even say that people should be getting married younger. But you're just shrinking the childbearing acceptability age, Age range. Have you noticed that? So it's a trap. It's closing in on people. And she's holding her pregnant stomach, by the way. And she's 20 weeks right now, supposedly. Or maybe it's 21 by now, I don't know. But haven't you noticed, they're pushing them into edumomification, career. You're shrinking their range of childbearing because at 30, you've lost half or more of your eggs or something. It's crazy. Look at this Daily Beast article. Satanic beast, mark of the beast, Daily Beast. Hillary Clinton's daughter, maybe Bill Clinton's daughter too. I don't know. I'm not sure. She doesn't really look too much like Bill. Chelsea Clinton looks a little bit more like another guy. I don't know, but anyway, it's a little bit gossipy. Chelsea Clinton was on the Daily Beast's board. Far left extremist Daily Beast. Showed this one. Kate Cox, doomed fetus, Daily Beast. Pregnant woman carrying a doomed fetus. What the world? Sues to get an abortion. And it's all because she doesn't want to deal with you see that in there, Hassan? Doomed, Kate Cox, doomed fetus. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Bands off our bodies, and it has the tattered jeans in the knees, legs of a gal with sort of Vans shoes and rainbow checkers. Rainbow checkers indicates LGBT. You're probably not going to be having children, young lady, if you keep on that path. At least not sensible children. Kate Cox will likely not Kate Cox's fetus, meaning unborn child, child of God, the child of the Father who's in on this, will likely not survive days past birth. So it will survive birth, just not days. He or she, the young child. But possibly may last a year or longer. So she's asking a court to block the state's abortion laws and let her end the pregnancy, meaning kill the child. And it's an article by Emily Sugarman. Shugerman. Senior reporter, a female reporter woman. Bands off our bodies. Blind, evil women worrying their pretty little heads. It all comes down to worry about the future. Because she found out that this child reportedly has this thing. Have the baby, bear through the pain and trouble of taking care of the child. It's only a year or less. And have some dignity. That's my take. But whatever. Human beings playing God. That's right. I want to get to John in Kentucky. Kentucky John, who's on the line. John in Kentucky, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I got a question. Why so many Caucasian people have that victim mentality y'all talk about blacks have? Why do y'all have it so much now?
We're becoming just like the blacks.
So
it's a human nature thing, man.
Victim mentality?
What's that?
Do you have it? Victim mentality?
A little bit.
Everybody's picking on the white man?
Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'll just eat worms. Yep.
Does that make you a hypocrite, though?
No.
Okay, if you're trying to get blacks not to have it,
right,
and you said you have a little bit of it, that's kind of hypocritical, don't you think?
No, I do not think that, because just because I have it doesn't mean that I disavow it. Don't disavow it within me, and I don't encourage other whites to do it. And so just because it doesn't mean that I agree with it just because I have it.
Oh, so you're saying you just don't know how to get rid of it,
right?
Not have it.
Yeah, it's something that human nature, an evil human nature, satanic human nature in all of us that we got to overcome.
Okay, so answer this question.
Yeah.
Do you truly think you're a victim?
No.
Hey man, you done kind of discredited yourself both times, because you stay on blacks all the time about having victim mentality.
Right.
Like me. Why can't it just be?
Oh yeah, you do.
Why can't it be just people telling the truth? Because I believe to a certain extent, you guys are in trouble.
Right.
Just like back in the day.
Yeah.
You had my parents and their grandparents. Y'all were, had them down bad. And it's going down for y'all now. So don't you think that's kind of biblical?
There's facts to complaints. People who complain, it's not truth, but there's some factual basis. There's some facts to it. Hey. How about factual? Can we say factual?
Can we say truthful facts?
I guess so, but truth means, like Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So there's no truth in victimhood. But there is factual basis to people's legitimate complaints.
Slaves were victims.
Sometimes, some of them were. Some of them.
That's the truth.
No, it's a fact that some of them were victims of wrongdoing, but in their spirits they didn't.
Yeah, truth.
Some of them in their spirits adopted this evil victim mentality. Some of them in their spirits did not identify with that victimiality, and so they bore up with dignity. They were dignified slaves.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to get better for y'all? Do you have hope?
Y'all in terms of whites, or y'all in terms of Christians, or people
Caucasians.
It's going to get worse for most, but it will get better for some who become God's children, because we're not defined by these physical lives and the outer world and how the outer world sees and treats us. We're defined by God if we are of God. We're defined by Satan if we're of Satan.
But you guys
even the slaves, there were slaves who bore up under it with dignity, and those slaves, even if they were mistreated, it got better for them because they were inwardly living a real life. under God.
You know, Hake, when I listen to y'all say this type of stuff that just comes off the top of y'all's head, it feels like y'all are philosophizing. It doesn't sound like truth at all. It's just what you strongly believe. That's the way I look at it.
That's a fair position to take. I understand what you're saying. But don't you think that a person in any circumstance can return to God? Even a homeless bum can repent, and life can get better for that homeless bum.
No.
No?
Because I'm an Israelite. You know what I believe. God don't love everybody. He don't love Esau, so it ain't.
Let's say it's an Israelite homeless bum.
Oh, it can definitely, yeah. You got to come back to the Lord and follow the commandments and change your life around.
Yeah, see?
Definitely do that.
And didn't God say that it's spiritual now? Not all, they are spiritually Israel.
No, show me that. I'd like to see that one.
I think it's in the New Testament.
I've heard people say being a spiritual Israelite, but nobody's ever been able to show me. Yeah, it doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible.
Are you sure?
It says the flesh. I'm leaning toward. I'm sure I'm leaning toward that way. You have to show me.
Okay. Let me see.
Do it. I'll give you $1 million if you show me spiritual Israel in the Bible.
Okay. It might be in. Israel. Who are Israelites? Okay, Romans 9:4. Who are Israelites to whom?
Read 3 first.
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead. Read it.
Okay, starting with 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Yeah.
Who are the Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law and service to God and the promises? Who are the fathers of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God blessed forever, amen. Not as though the word of God has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham, meaning children of Abraham, are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That's
clear. That's clear, Hake. That's clear.
Right. So adoption, buddy.
Adoption to who?
To Israel.
Right.
God.
Not everybody. To his kinsmen and brethren. That's family.
No, adoption doesn't mean blood.
Yeah, but who is he speaking to? He's not speaking to everybody. I think he's just taking it wrong. But hey, I'll call you back tomorrow, and I want to touch on that.
All right. Sounds good, man. Take care. Bye. He is an Israelite, a black Hebrew Israelite. He doesn't say the black part. He thinks he's a Hebrew Israelite. Well, guys, this has been the Hake Report. I got to close out the show. Let me just double check for any remaining super chats that I may have missed. I have another cool song to share with you, and it's another nice song, actually. Over on Rumble, I think we're all clear. Thank you, guys. Odyssey, we're all clear. Thank you, guys. I'll open the treasure chest. How about that? Treasure chest for you on a Thursday. Treasure chest, add 50 lemons for you guys. And distribute the rewards. No chests, move along. Obama's sunken chest for you. D-Live. It's redistribution of lemons. We're all clear on Streamlabs. Someone bought a coffee. You looked visibly uncomfortable answering the questions about home ownership. Yeah, because you're getting nosy. And I'm a beta recoiling at your nosiness, Mr. Someone, because you're such a snake, and I get the heebie-jeebies around snakes. I'm still a beta. And he's saying, Hassan, do you own a home? None of your business, someone. I'm going to be mama on the Hake Report and answer for Hassan. You're welcome to chime in here, Hassan. And he's giving the yes, go fist, not to be confused with the communist black power fist, saying, yeah, go. You're being nosy, Mr. Someone. And also, I suspect that you're a socialist or communist, but I will gladly accept your coffees. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas. Or ma'am. Or miss. It's ma'am. By the way, I had a Ko-fi supporter over on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com. So thank you for that. And shout out to Misty and Tech Garage 24/7 Tunes. That's awesome. And Mr. Nargis. I like that name. And who else? Kid Combo 1.0, Potleaf, and Home Network. Thank you guys for the lemons, the ice creams. That's cool. Guys, enjoy Christmas music. Mary Did You Know by who? Phil Hahn and Steve Johnson. Songs of Christmas, like 2005 or 2013 or something. Adios, America. Here it is.
Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know?
The Virgin Mary.
Did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered would soon deliver you.
So good.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hands? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss this little baby, you kiss the Son of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know your son would walk on water? Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know? Make the blind men see. Mary, did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know? He'd be the ruler of all nations. Did you know? Did you know? Mary, did you know?
Well, thank you guys. Adios, America. Bye.